Okay, welcome everybody. Let's talk about the stock market today. This is the S&P 500 futures, the continuous contract up here at the ES. We'll look at the weekly. We'll look at my trade I made today. I had a big trade that I'm going to share. If you didn't watch my video from this morning, you should watch it. It's for the members, that'll be in the Get Us Only post channel. For everybody else, just go to Get Us Realists on YouTube and you'll find the video there. I said in that video, the title of the video, I think remember, is the stock market bull run is over. Okay, it's over, guys, at least for a while. So it's a really good video. You should watch that. It's only about 10 minutes long. But here we're going to get into this. We're going to talk about the market today. And we'll also, like I said, we'll talk about the weekly. We'll talk about my trade, which was a pretty big trade. And then we'll look at the daily, and we'll look at the intraday chart and talk about the trades of the day. Okay, so let's get started. Here on the weekly chart, I'm going to show this one today because it's pretty relevant. Look at this, guys. Right? And I know today's only Wednesday. We got Thursday and Friday still to go. So yes, it's possible this could retrace and bounce back up. And it may come back up a little bit. We'll see, maybe. But I don't think it's going to recover all of this. The 108, range of 108 so far for this week. Even if it gets some feet underneath it, I just don't think it's going to completely recover. And this is a big change in the market, big behavioral change. I think we're in for a market decline, I think, all the way out until the middle of June. Now, do I think it's going to be straight down? Probably not. Look at something kind of like, over here. See how this went? You get some pretty good candlesticks coming down. You get a week like this where it has a long tail, kind of rebounds a little bit, and then it finishes off with two big down weeks. So it rarely is it just straight down, right? I'm not saying that this pullback is going to mimic this one right here by any means. I'm just saying, rarely is it just straight down. But I do think we'll get price decline all the way out to the middle of June, more or less. Now that's a lot of time, and based on the cycles I'm looking at here. And I've talked about this before. I haven't done this in a while. Let me just pull from this cycle. I think I tried to do this cycle before to try to make sense of this big cycle. And it kind of makes sense right there. Guess we can throw it on there. I'll make it yellow here on the weekly chart. Maybe before I get too far ahead of myself, let me just check a few other things. Let's remove this and start over again. There is something here. So I'm just going to try to pull in a couple different directions here real quick on the video. And taking kind of a look at this, just snappy quick. That doesn't really work. I'm certainly not going to pull to that short of a period. We could try to pull the other way. Sometimes you got to pull in the other direction. Okay, not really too good right there. It kind of hits in a couple spots. Boom, bing, bang, bing, boom. It's off there. It's kind of good there. It's kind of good there. Yeah. So there's a little something to this cycle. It's not great, but it's pretty good. This has us going out to May 26th. Okay. So that's possible. And the other one's June 16th. Okay, there's that one. I'm just kind of mentioning some dates here. Pulling from this obvious cycle low, this price low here. Okay, so that was pulling this way. Let's pull a little bit further. Let's just kind of get a feel for what's happening there. Looks good there, looks good. Okay there. Good there, doesn't do anything there, misses there. So that cycle's garbage. Let's go this way. We're gonna go the other direction here a little bit. I know you're probably wondering what the heck am I doing here, but just bear with me. It's only gonna take another 30 seconds to look at this. Pretty much garbage going that way. And then there's this really big one. This one's actually pretty good. And that one has us going all the way out to November. So that's probably a fairly reliable cycle. So there's like a May 26th in here. What does this one do? June 16th. Okay. There's like something right kind of near the end of, it's like right near, it's before this. It's in this area. There's another cycle in here, kind of like right in here for May 26th. So, but I'm not going to put it in there because it's pretty close to the June one, and it's going to be one or the other, maybe a little combination of both. So I'm not going to sweat it for now. We're just wanting to kind of get a feel, since I now have a lot of confidence that this market is change behavior, and we are going to see some bear trend activity here for a while. All right, so let's just talk about support in the weekly chart. 51.69, which pretty much we're almost touched that today. We got down to 76, so just a little bit more left in this. The bottom of that candlestick right there is actually 57, so really about 20 points shy of that happened today. So there may be a little bit more in this, a little below this 51.69. But here's the big one. I think I shouldn't say big one, but I'm almost positive. I'll be very surprised if we don't come down to this 50.63. Okay. Well, this is kind of on the daily too, but that's most likely going to happen. And I think we could see 300 to 400 points off of this pretty easily. So 50.63 is almost certainly going to happen. And then once we get there, we'll start talking about 49.37 and 48.69, which are kind of the next ones down, okay? But for now, 50.63 area, 5,000 area-ish is definitely where we're headed. Okay, June 16th, like I said, there might be like a May 26th one somewhere right in about there. Okay, you can see the MACD is getting kind of pinchy. This thing's looking like it wants to go down. Okay, those are the dates. There you go. Okay, let's switch over to a trade I made. All right, here's a trade I made. I had an order sitting there for quite a while. It was a big, wide, huge, it's called an OCO order. It's one cancels the other. OCO. I had one way up here, like pretty far up in the near 5,300 or higher. And then I had one down at 51.81 because well, we just saw it on the chart. Well, we're going to see it on the daily chart. 51.81 was kind of a key support area. And then at 7:30 this morning, you get this candlestick. All through the night, it just did this, would track sideways, and in the morning it gave up. Huge, 100-point candlestick, and the profits were $7,925, guys. Yeah, it was obviously a really good pre-market profit right there. So I only had 2 contracts to do it, easy peasy. Super happy, obviously, with that. But yeah, just look at that. We'll look at this at the daily. The nature of the market has changed, okay? The nature of the market has changed. So I'll be taking a close look. We're looking at, this is the hourly chart we're looking at right here. For non-members, you probably wonder what you're looking at here. This is all one day right there. And I put the hourly cycles in there for the members. Okay, we've been coming out of late London session and pre-market USA. We've been getting these sell-offs at 7 o'clock in the morning. It's been happening quite frequently, off and on for the last month. So those are also signs that there's a behavior change in the market. All right. Anyway, that was my trade. Big, huge moneymaker, $8,000. I wanted to show the whole chart today. This is just a screenshot I took so you get an idea of, how did this trade develop, When you have a sense that you know what the market's going to be doing, based on cycle analysis, and I talked about the market weakening back on April 2nd. These are kind of chances, I shouldn't say chances, these are kind of opportunities that you can kind of plan ahead for. Better than just like some single day kind of picking up maybe $1,000 or $800 or $1,500. You can kind of plan a little bit for these kind of big movements because they're likely to happen. Sure enough, this one happened. So there you are, $8,000 today, super nice. Okay, let's go look at the daily chart. All right, so here we are on the daily chart, and here's that June 16th cycle, way out here, the yellow one. There's a June 2nd one. So that June 2nd one could line up with the May 26th. So it's somewhere in this area, I think, is where the cycle low is going to eventually happen and kind of run out of gas, whatever this does. One of those deals. Okay, something like this, whatever. I'm just making this up. It may not actually do that. Okay. So I think these dates out here are really pretty good about Fort Worth. Ching, give it a check mark. I think that's where we're going to see this the bear trend run out of gas, and then the market maybe bounce. From there, going into kind of late summer and into the autumn. And there's something out there in November, I think, if I remember right, that the market could potentially pull back really late in the year or maybe going into the next year. But there's always a small chance, or at least a decent chance, the market doesn't bounce when we get out here. you could get a big behavior change. It probably won't happen, but it could happen, and the market could go into a massive decline. So we have to watch for that too. It isn't out of the realm of possibility that we could get out here and everybody's expecting to do the bouncy bounce and it just kind of runs out of gas and then it just keeps going. Sometimes that'll happen. So we will pay attention to that when we get out there. For today, of course, we got a big, huge red candlestick here. The range was 108 today. Most of that happened at 7:30, the 7 o'clock hour. And then when we look at the intraday charts, you'll notice the rest of the day just chopped sideways. Buyers now know, and I guarantee this, back over prior to today, folks, all this back over here, buyers were still hopeful that it was going to continue to do this, but they were wrong. Okay, and I've been talking about this for a while. I said the market's busted. As soon as I saw this day right here, the confidence was beginning to rise. The market was busted. This was an unusual activity. These 7 candlesticks. Okay, just using basic pattern recognition was how I went about doing that. It didn't have to be. Sometimes you don't got to be fancy, guys. Develop your pattern recognition skills, and you'll be amazed what that can do for a lot of things in life, including the marketplace. So, anyways, the market is busted. The market's busted, and buyers now know that. Here's the deal: buyers are going to be super cautious now. They are not going to just go long and try to ramp up, and the market never goes down. The crowd that thinks that's happening. And don't get me wrong, I'm just as happy as anybody else making money when the market's bullish. But I can tell you right now that if you're a one-sided trader, you need to do one of two things. You either need to stay completely out of the market because all you know how to do is trade long because you're afraid to go short, or you need to learn how to trade short. Okay, if you're an options trader, maybe that's going to be puts. I don't know. All right, but whatever you're going to do, don't think the market's going to be in a buy the dip mode, because it's not. It's now in the sell the rip mode. Okay, this is about selling now, guys, not about buying, guys and gals. Okay, so there it is. It came down 50.81. I mean, I had my order set there. How did I know that? Because if you take a look back over here, and I've talked about this many times, and some people probably think I'm nuts, but I don't really care. I know it works. And this cluster of candlesticks, the way they base right here, was super obvious that this is where support was. And that's why there's support down here too. And over here again. And that's why the market's going to gravitate towards this 50.85 and 50.63 area. It's almost money in the bank. Okay, could I be wrong? Yes, I could be wrong. But look at this. This is a failure. And this is what I call a waterfall. Kaboomski. And the rain is coming down. And what is it raining? It's raining money. Okay, just like it rained money this way, except this was a melt up, I guess. This is raining money this way. Okay, just get used to the idea that traders, which is what you should be, in my opinion, make money no matter what the market's doing, up or down. All right, so I think that's where we're headed. We're heading down to this area here. There is a kind of this cycle low here, April 15th. So we could get down here to April 15th, which is 5 days away, get a little bouncy bounce. It isn't, like I said, I don't think it's going to just be straight down. We might get a little bouncy bounce coming up into this little cycle here, and then it farts around. Who knows? It might even test 5,300, whatever. Okay, then it's going to, the next wave down going into May 8th will be deeper. You follow me? And then don't follow this number far as exactly. I'm not saying we're going to get down to 4,900. I'm just kind of showing a pattern here. Then it may bounce again, do one of those deals down into June. Okay, something like this, right? Far as where it ends up price-wise, that I can't really say right now. But this is kind of the pattern you might see. Your typical kind of big wave moving down, all right? But the MACD here on the daily chart is telling us a story. Now, we're definitely still very positive. Okay. Way above zero. We're here at 31. First time in many freaking months that we've gotten below 55. Really, it was stuck on 55 forever and a day up here. It was just ridiculous. Okay. So finally, we've broken below 55 here in the last few days. And most traders, even the big funds, guys, hedge funds, mutual funds, you name it. All these funds that are managed, they look at momentum. Sure, they have complicated algorithms for trading, in certain situations, but I guarantee when it all boils down to, they're still looking at momentum, and they see this. They see this change. Okay, they know it's there, and that's where the market's going down. Okay, let's take a look at the intraday charts. You got the dates, take your screenshot, your snapshots, all that good stuff. This is where we're headed, down here near 50.85 and 50.63. Okay, that's going to be the next wave down. All right, so here we are on the 5-minute chart. Now, obviously, this is where the money was made today. This massive decline that happened at, 7:30 exactly. Okay, pretty hard to catch this. Pretty hard to catch this. Even the Giddens Plus indicator is going to have a hard time catching this. Just a massive sell-off. You can see that the MACD was just flatlining the whole night long. Look at that. Just nothing. But like I said, London had been, and pre-market USA had been slamming. They've been selling off frequently lately, been doing this. So, I was prepared with my order, just sat there for a while actually. Okay, and it got down to 51.76, which was we got to understand that support areas will overshoot a little bit. So 51.81 was basically right there. That's when my order got executed, and it was within 5 points. I'm a happy camper. Okay, but that's clearly the trade of the day. You got to be paying attention when you see something like this. This candlestick starts developing. It's just like this. All of a sudden, you see this big red candlestick happening. Well, you got to join in on the fun, right? So even if you missed the first third, you don't want to miss the rest of it. And folks, that's the reason why you need to get out of bed early so you can catch the big money makers. Because some mornings, this is what happens. Cha-ching! Not every morning, but some mornings. All right, so there's your trade of the day. Super easy peasy. If you look over at the 15-minute chart, you can obviously see there was this big purple candlestick. And like I said, probably about a third of the way down, it should have become real obvious. I wasn't looking exactly at the 15 chart, but this candlestick was probably flashing between green and purple here, right? Is what it was doing. It was going like green and purple, and green is flashing on and off. So when you see that, it's time to take the trade, especially the third of the way down on this monster candlestick. Okay, this candlestick alone was 96 points. All right. So even though you may not catch it at the tippy top, you catch it the third of the way down, and you're going to pick up, let's see, about 60 points, let's say. Pretty nice, right? Trade of the day right there. And then the rest of the day was total garbage. Because of course it's garbage. You want to know why the rest of the day is garbage? Everybody's going to ask me, well, why didn't, like some of the members noticed that on the hourly chart, which I'll show the hourly chart today. I don't show it very often to the public, but I'll show it today. We'll even show it with the cycles. But we're going to take a look at that in a minute. As I'm sure a few members ask, well, why didn't we get a big pullback like we normally did based on the hourly cycles? We'll talk about that, okay? Why did it just chop all day long? Okay, it's really obvious to me why it did that. Okay, let's go look at the hourly chart. Here we go. All right, so here is the hourly chart. All right, and let me get rid of the Giddens Plus. Just hide the Giddens Plus indicator here for a second so it doesn't take up all this space. All right, so here are the cycles, right? You can see there's 11 o'clock a.m. CST time, and it's 1 o'clock. It's military time being used here for cycle low. And then some people may say, well, why didn't we get this big pullback like we normally do at 1 o'clock? Because we already had the pullback. It happened at 7 o'clock. Okay. And to get pullbacks, okay, to simplify, for something to pull down, it first has to go up, right? It has to go up before it can pull down. I mean, it's not entirely always true, but generally speaking, usually you're going to get significant pullbacks after things have gone up, right? That's normally how it works. Let me see something here. I'm trying to find out where the break of the day is because they're not really showing it very well. Yeah, okay. So that's generally how it goes, okay? So why didn't we get this pullback at 1 o'clock? Because buyers now know the market's busted. busted. They've seen this happen several times. So buyers are not in any kind of hurry to try to run this thing up because they don't want to get caught out, right? They know now that this has happened several times and we see a degradation in the stock market. Now after today, trust me, all the buyers, the people who normally do calls and all that other stuff, which is great. They made a lot of money over a long period of time, so don't be upset. You all made a lot of money. That's great. Now it's time to change your mindset. Time to go short. That's why you didn't get a pullback at 1 o'clock, because the buyers didn't come in here. They're not going to come in after they probably got abused here. They got abused here. I warned and said, like I said back on April 2nd, if you don't change your mindset from buy the dip to sell the rip, you're going to get caught out. Eventually buyers are going to get caught out because a lot of people have a hard time making the change, right? They're so used to just the market going up, 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 up for months on end that they struggle with this idea that the market's changed. They don't want to believe it, right? They can't believe it. Well, believe it. It's happened. All right. So that's why you didn't get this big pullback at 1 o'clock. It just chopped sideways because buyers are not going to come rushing in here. All right. I think now we're going to see like little, you're going to see some bounces and then you're going to sell, and then see some bounces and there's going to be some selling. That's the mode we're in. Okay. And of course, I'll take a look at the hourly cycles here and maybe potentially make some changes to this for the members. Okay. All right. That pretty much covers it. If you want to become a member, stick around to the end of the video. Okay. For those that have been sitting on the sidelines and thinking about the membership, man, oh man, I don't know what you're waiting for. Now is the time. Okay, so here we are. To become a member, there's going to be a discord.com link just below this video on YouTube. So make sure you read the instructions first, then click on the discord.com link. It's going to bring you to this server. Then click on server shop. It's going to bring you over here, $7.99. Guys and gals, this is an extreme value. Okay, the streaming charts are down here, which we looked at all three of those today, the 5-minute, the 15-minute, the 1 hour. You saw the Get Us Plus indicator on those charts today. You saw the hourly cycles are on there. All right. You saw today I made $8,000. Okay, no, I'm not guaranteeing you're going to make that. Okay. But just click down here. You get the streaming charts. Also, you join Ask Me About the Gold Stream, and I'll give you the link for the Gold Stream. You can just put it in member chat to say, hey, get us. Where's the stream for the gold streaming charts? I'll give you that too. All right. And if you're a new member, you can ask me, where is the new member video? And I'll give you a link to that. All right. Whenever that Get Us Plus indicator that I have indicates that there might be a trade, it sends an alert over here to the S&P 500 alerts channel. And gold streaming charts do the same thing. Okay, every day at the end of the day, which I already did before I started this video, I put premium symbols in here. There's future symbols in there. There's optionable stocks in there. There's industry symbols in there. There's symbols in there that for shorting. Okay, so it's a really nice set of symbols. You might want to go check them out. Okay, the Get Us Only Post channel, this is where I post a link for this video, and I also put the notification there for the nightly email. So you might want to take a look at that. Okay. Speaking, you can always right click on these channels and turn notifications on. You probably should do the same thing for this channel here too, Get Us Only Post channel. And speaking of the nightly email, make sure when you join, you drop your email into this emails only channel, and I'll pick that up. And every night, Monday through Thursday, I send out the daily chart of the S&P 500. It has the daily cycles on there. It has the support and resistance lines on there now. Okay, really nice. A lot of people join just for that. Some people join for obviously for this charts, streaming charts, and the email. Okay, solar activity. A couple weeks ago, back in late March, I predicted there was going to be earthquakes, and boy, did we have some earthquakes. We had like a slew of earthquakes come in. So I keep track of that for various reasons. Really good channel. Fixed income, I do trade corporate bonds from time to time. If I do, I put those in there. And then these two channels are just your kind of your typical chat. So think about this. Everything in this vertical rectangle you're getting for $8. $7.99. You get the S&P 500 and the gold streaming chart. You get the alerts that go along with it. You get the premium symbols every day, Monday through Thursday. You get the video every day, Monday through Thursday, right? You get the nightly emails. You get me tracking cool solar activity, which does affect the market, believe it or not. Okay. And if you get a support issue, which really only comes down to occasionally someone's not getting their email because Discord decided to make them change their handle, just let me know in the member chat, hey, I'm not getting my emails, and I'll take care of it. Okay. I got to talk about the rules. Yes, you've got to read the rules, because if you don't read the rules and you break the rules, then I'm going to be in your face about it. It's going to be your fault. So you got to read the rules. And here's a disclaimer that I'm not a financial advisor. I do not give financial advice. Everything is educational purposes only. No financial advice is implied whatsoever. On this server, no matter who is posting anything, it doesn't matter if it's me posting or anybody else posting it, it's strictly educational purposes only. And the same thing with this video. As a matter of fact, all my videos are educational purposes only, okay? And here's also the be nice to everybody else rules. Don't post any foul language. Don't post any dirty links to dirty content, nasty content, okay? Don't come in here with your leftist garbage. Yeah, I'm a conservative, I'm a Christian. Don't come over here trying to run over my server with your garbage. I won't have it. If you're gonna get nasty or rude, I'm gonna warn you, I'll remove the content. Don't try to post any like commercials or selling your products. Okay, I'm gonna be right in your face about it, lickety split. Okay, just be respectful and be nice. If you can do that, come on and join. I don't care what your political affiliation is, doesn't make any difference to me. The minute you start getting weird, and you're lacking maturity and being, disruptive and posting dirty junk, like I said, I'm going to remove it. I'm going to warn you. And if it gets bad enough, I'll kick you. If it gets really bad, you're going to get banned. So make sure you read the rules. Also, read the refund rules. Okay, basically, there's no refunds. I mean, $8, I'm not going to refund $8. If you don't like the service after a month, just quit. I'm not going to prorate $3, $4, $5, $2, figuring out how much prorate I got to give you for how many days or weeks you were in the month. I'm not going to do that. Okay, it's only $8. Okay, so if you join, be prepared to stay to the end of the month. Okay, I would invest 3 months. My gosh, I mean, it's crazy cheap. Spend $25. Learn to use the service. I mean, I put these videos up 4 days a week, sometimes 5. By now, for all those people that are sitting on the sidelines, you got to know that the service is making people a lot of money. I know for a fact I've had several members make tens of thousands of dollars. Okay, smaller accounts are making a few $100. I'm not saying everybody's making money. I don't keep track of everybody because I don't ask, because it's none of my business. Members are going to do what they need to do and trade the way they think is best, but they use the service to help them out. Okay, I honestly believe if you come into the membership and you're patient, you're probably eventually going to make some money, okay? More than you're paying out for this piddly little $8 a month, okay? All right, as I said before, I believe the service is going to take off. And when it does, I might have to hire a part-time person to handle doing some of the Discord and managing, support issues. And that could force me to raise the price. So take advantage of what you can. This is crazy cheap, okay? All right, I think that pretty much covers it. Hope you're had an awesome day. Guys and gals, there's going to be a lot more opportunities. I think gold, it may temporarily dip here on the daily, and then I think it's going to bounce. I think gold's going to go above 2,500 eventually here. The SP 500 is going down the other way. A lot of opportunities depending on what you're trading. There's a lot of opportunity out there. For those that don't trade futures and commodities, you really should start thinking about it. There's a whole world you're probably not even aware of. Just think about it. You can trade futures and commodities. Okay, you're talking gold and corn and wheat and silver and oil, and the list just goes on. Yes, even things like milk and cattle, all that stuff can be traded. There's a whole world out there that people don't even know that those products are available to trade. It isn't just about trading stocks and the S&P 500 and the NASDAQ. Sure, those are money makers, and I make money off them too, but there's a lot more out there to trade. So, all right. And futures, some of those products are super, super cheap, really low margin. All right, anyway, that's it. Happy trading, everybody. God bless everybody. Talk to all real soon again next time.